Please stand and welcome Class 185.
foremost, colors. Ready, set. Stand by. Forward. Close.
If you would, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Present. Oh.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. On. Ready, step. Port, arms. Stand by. Colors turn. March.
Folks, thank y'all for coming out tonight. If everybody would please bow their heads. Father, we thank you for letting everybody get here safely tonight. Thank y'all for the bond, or thank you, Father, for the bonds that was created here in this 7-week process. Thank y'all for the good instructors that taught us well, and please bless everybody in their future careers and just work through us, Father. Thank you for everything. In your name we pray. Amen.
Good afternoon. You may be seated. First and foremost, I just want to say how honored we are for each one of you to be here today. If you're following along with your program, you'll notice down there that it says that the Department of Insurance Commissioner Mike Chaney is going to be welcoming you today. And obviously, I don't know if you know what he looks like or not, but I'm not him. But on behalf of the Insurance Commissioner, we just want to say welcome to the Mississippi State Fire Academy. And thank you for coming out today. We want you to take the opportunity to enjoy your time while you're here. And once we finish up with the ceremonies today, take an opportunity to walk around the campus and just see what type of facility that we have here. And it's one of the best facilities in the nation. Also, Class 185, on behalf of the commissioner, again, he wanted to be here, but he was unable to at the last minute. He just wanted to let each one of you know how proud that he is, that you guys have completed this program and that you're going back into your communities to serve in the capacity of a firefighter. My name is Marcus Collier, and what I want to do is just take a few seconds to tell you a little bit about our instructional staff here at the Academy. The Academy has 28 full-time instructional staff members, and those members are distributed between 4 instructional bureaus. The instructional bureau that has spent the last 7 weeks with your loved ones here within this program fall within the certification bureau. And at this time, I would like to introduce some of those members to you. We don't have all of our members today, but the ones that are present, I want to introduce those. Before I get into that very quickly, I want to tell you a little bit about what these gentlemen have been able to do over the last 7 to 8 weeks. On-campus deliveries, they've been able to complete 2 7-week basic firefighter programs. Also, they just started the 3rd basic firefighter program this Monday. They also assisted with the County Arson Investigator Program. Off-campus deliveries include a basic firefighter program for the city of Biloxi, a fire instructor program for the city of Flowood, a safety officer program for Jackson County fire personnel, They've also been instrumental in building and managing both fire instructor and fire officer online courses, which we currently have 43 students involved in those programs. And also something else that we're very excited about is the fact that they have been able to build and launch the first ever emergency medical responder program here at the Academy. And that launched off this past Saturday with 18 students in that. So you can see that these gentlemen have had a full plate starting this new year, and we're very excited about where the Academy's going, and these guys are an integral part of that. So at this point, I want to take a second and introduce these gentlemen to you. Starting down here to my left on the floor, Instructor Sidney Malone, Advanced Instructor Matt Hinkle, Instructor Sean Sinclair, Senior Instructor Barry Burnside. Up here on the stage to my left, Instructor Mark Moss, and Class Coordinator of 185, Advanced Instructor Bill Trimble. Also, as I alluded to, there's a couple of members that are helping with the smoke diver program this week, and they wanted to be there for that graduation. So we have Instructor Chris Carrera, we have Instructor Supervisor Rob Fisher. Also helping with this class, we had Instructor Chad Ponder. So, and a multitude of other instructors and other bureaus that helped us accomplish what we've done over the last 7 to 8 weeks, like I talked about. Also, I want to recognize Miss Rebecca Cahoon as our administrative assistant. One more time, if you would, join me in a round of applause. Next thing, Class 185, very briefly. Most of the instructors have had an opportunity at this point to leave you with some parting words of wisdom. So on our behalf as an instructional staff, we want to just thank each one of you for the decision you have made to become a firefighter. And as you prepare to move in your careers and back into your daily lives, we'd like to leave you with these 4 attributes of leadership to take with you as you go. They're going to be very brief. So here we go. Number 1, be men of outstanding character. Be men of outstanding character. Number 2, be committed to whatever it is that you set your hands to do. Be committed to that thing. Number 3, be consistent. Be unwavering in all your efforts. And number 4, in this line of work, be compassionate to all that you encounter. That includes the people that you work with, as well as the people and the emergencies that you're going to respond to. Congratulations. We're proud to be here on this special day and to share it with you and your family members. May God bless you all.
Good evening to everyone. My name is Terry Wages. I'm an executive director here at State Fire Academy. And this class is a little different than we've had in the past in that all of these firefighters to be at the end of this day have come from Central Mississippi here. So we made some adjustments early in the year to have a class, and we ended up stacking that class with one that was already going on. And I want to commend the instructors and the staff here for making this happen. It was a huge task to take on, but it makes it a little unique in graduating firefighters just from this central area. But that said, welcome to this graduation ceremony to celebrate the graduation of Class 185. Today, we want to take the opportunity to recognize and acknowledge the achievements of these young firefighters. These young men and women are going into a profession that's going to challenge them every day. Firefighting is considered one of the top 3 most prestigious professions in the country. That said, it is one of honor, integrity, and sacrifice. All of these attributes fold into a system of community. Those communities are made up all across our state, but today we're going to focus on the ones in Central Mississippi. Right here in Central Mississippi, we'll start by recognizing these departments. First off, Brandon Fire Department. Flowood Fire Department. Gluckstadt Fire Department. Jackson Fire Department. Madison Fire Department. Reservoir Fire Department. Pearl Fire Department. And Ridgeland Fire Department. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, to these young firefighters, I want to say success in community protection is vital to our society, and it's associated with words like support, need, outreach, and most of all, relationships. As you leave here today, go back to your respective departments and be mindful of the chosen profession and continually develop yourself. Apply what you've learned here to grow your knowledge and skills. For one thing certain in this line of work, you're going to be called upon to make a difference in someone's life. Be ready to make that difference. Represent your profession, our communities, and our great state in a way that will reflect well upon you and your department as the newest members of our Mississippi firefighting family. Thank you. job. That way, Jackson. Good job. Looks good.
I don't remember them saying I'd have to watch a man take his last breath with his wife and daughter at his chest, or to see a family's home go up in flames, knowing they just lost everything. But we've got to know we did our best. Go on and don't worry about the past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today. 'Cause you know God made us that way. I never thought I'd see the terror in a mother's eyes as she watched her 15-year-old die. Or to feel the fire slap me in the face as it moves through this house at a steady pace. But we've got to know we did our best. Go on, don't worry about the past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today. 'Cause you know God made us that way. And I hope to God I never have to see a brother fall in battle at a fire we can't defeat. We've got to know we did our best. Go on, don't worry about the past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today. 'Cause you know God made us that way. You know God made firefighters that way.
Well, again, good afternoon. Welcome, friends and family, okay? First couple of guys I want to recognize today. Mr. William Searcy, he is our videographer here at the State Fire Academy. And also Instructor Chief Shannon Sandridge for that song that he wrote while he was here going through the same class that you were going through, guys. So give them a round of applause, please. These guys are probably tired of hearing me talk, or at least talk loudly. How about that? Not going to say a whole lot, but before I recognize a few guys that are in 185, I want to leave you with one other thing. In Joshua chapter 1, verses 6 and 9 is what I'm really going to reference, but I'm going to set it up real quick. It's the good Lord encouraging Joshua. This is right after the death of Moses, and the Lord speaking to Joshua. Verse 6 goes like this. It starts off, and I'm not going to do the whole thing. It says, be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. I'm going to skip a little bit. Verse 9, he says, haven't I commanded you? Be strong and courageous. It says, do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Wherever you go. Guys, we don't know where we're going when we get on shift that day. Wherever that call takes us to, that's where we're going. Just understand that the Lord's going to be wherever you go. He's going to be with you. Okay? So never forget that, please. Not going to talk a whole lot about them. I will say this. I thought this class was going to be tough. I really did, because as the director said earlier, this class was right here from Central Mississippi, and none of these guys stayed on campus. I really couldn't have my thumb on them very much at that point. So they were all off campus, so I had to let them go each day, and I had to make sure, or I had to hope and pray that they were here on time the next morning, and they all were. And that's a real testament to these guys that sit in front of you today, because they came here, they started week one with a work ethic, with a determination, with a focus that's all we can ask for when they come here. But a couple of guys that I have to recognize, that I want to recognize this morning or this afternoon, are my captain and lieutenants, because their job, I gave them extra duties. You know, their first duty here was to come to the program and complete the program so they could go back and serve you. But I gave them extra duties. My captain, Thomas Seals, from the Ridgeland Fire Department. All I had to do was tell him where I wanted him to go, what time I wanted him to be there. And he did it. He took care of it. Good job, Thomas. As we know, the class started with a few more than 25, so he had to have a little help just as well as I did. Given Breckenridge, my first lieutenant. I'll recognize him now. Very quiet spoken, but when he spoke, everybody listened, kind of like E.F. Hutton, I guess, right? Congratulations. And I guess the vocal one of the three, always, and they know you too, right? Gary Sims from the Jackson Fire Department. And as you all know, again, y'all have been their support element since they've been here for the 7 weeks. You know that we go through approximately 40 tests, and that's just a written test that they have to do, and that's not even thinking about the skills that they're responsible for. The next award that I do want to give out is the highest GPA award for that includes the hazmat A&O operations for the first week that they were here, and also the level 1 and level 2 firefighter. And I will tell you this is one of the closest ones we've seen in a while, because it went down to the hundredths of point. I want to recognize now Jack Wright from the Ridgeland Fire Department with the highest GPA, 93.8. If you didn't hear me, at a 93.88 average. Very good average. The guys come here, part of being a firefighter, you have to be physically fit. You don't just have to have it between your ears. You got to be physically fit also. So I want to give out a most physically fit award. And the way we do that is they come here the first week, put them to the test. Then every week, then on after, you know, they're put through a run, they're put through push-ups, pull-ups, and all that stuff. and we test their physical ability all throughout the class. So our most physically fit firefighter from the Ridgeland Fire Department, Chris Pearson. Now, those two awards are pretty easy because they're just by the numbers. This last one is kind of difficult. When you leave here today, you're going to see on the right side before you go through the gate, it asks a question. Pose a question to each and every one of us. Have I made a difference today? Our next award that we want to give out is our Making a Difference Award. This guy came in and he was on par no matter what. It didn't matter whether we're doing skills, whether we're doing testing. It didn't matter. He was always yes, sir, no, sir, and one of the ones to step up and do things when we needed something done. Okay? So from the Brandon Fire Department, the Making a Difference Award goes to Corey Brown. All right, I know they're tired of hearing me talk now. The last thing that I want to take note of, you see the flag that was brought in here earlier. That's the symbol for this class, Class 185. That's their togetherness, their brotherhood. I told them and I promised them they will not be given anything when they walk through the gates here. Everything that they would get, they would have to earn it. And I promise you they had to earn that flag. So at this time, I want to recognize the captain and lieutenants with the flag.
At this time, we would like to return our class flag to the Mississippi State Fire Academy. Right, place, forward, mark.
Last thing I'm going to do today is not let Sim sit down because he's going to be your class speaker for Class 185, and this was voted on by all the guys of Class 185. Gary Sims from the Jackson Fire Department.
All right, now everybody good, huh? Before we continue, to every dignitary, every parent, every child, every staff member, anybody I may have missed, we really appreciate y'all giving us one thing that y'all cannot give back, and that's your time. It's not an obligation that you be here, so we really appreciate it. I was gonna go off the top of my head, but due to the fact of me getting some advice, I'll just go with what I wrote down. This journey has been amazing, to say the least. There were challenges faced, obstacles hurdled, and more importantly, a brotherhood was established. These 24 guys sitting before me, trusting me with this obligation. And it's a real honor and a privilege to be chosen. We, Class 185, have just completed 7 weeks of knowledge, experiences, training, and bonding. These 24 guys made this experience one of the single best events that I can say that I've been a part of throughout my 37 years of living. Each and every one of you have been a blessing to me. And I'm more than sure that you guys have been a blessing to all these fine instructors we have in here. None of this would be possible without the time, knowledge, and the coordination of our instructors. We were given 100% by each and every one of them. And they also manned 2 different classes. It was very impressive. Thank you all for your dedication and commitment to us, taking this first step at becoming smart, focused, efficient, and safe firefighters. Class 185, man, we firefighters, bro. Feel me? We firefighters, man. In closing, I'll just leave you all with this. You know, life really is a journey. You never know where it's going to take you. Every experience in your life prepares you for a certain moment. When you get to that moment, just remember, grab it by the horns, man, and take it down. Take it anywhere you need for it to go. Okay? And if you have a goal, keep that goal in mind. Put forth the work. Don't worry about how long it's going to take. Don't worry about what you have to go through to get there. Visualize that goal. Put the work forth. The goal has no choice but to manifest. I thank the Lord for me being here. I thank the Lord for you all being here. We are Class 185. Thank you.
Before we move into our guest speaker, I wanted to make a couple of acknowledgments. There's several that's not in the room today. We have a lot going on campus, and we want to recognize we have approximately 35 support staff members here outside, the instructors that do a phenomenal job every day to make sure everybody gets what they need here on the Fire Academy campus and move forward with their classes in an effective, efficient manner. So please give those people a round of applause for everything they do to support this operation. Also, I want to introduce our Deputy Administrator for the instructional staff, Daniel Cross. Daniel just moved into that position. He's sitting over here next to our guest speaker. Make sure we acknowledge him. He's the one that makes sure everything is coordinated and functions properly in our instructional bureaus. It's a lot to go on, and then he serves as my right hand, keeping me straight. So that keeps everybody on the right path. All right, moving to our guest speaker. That's not in the bio, but I'm going to have to share it. Every firefighter in this room knows our guest speaker. He's been a mentor to me for years, as he's been to many of you all. He has probably done as much for the fire service in the state of Mississippi as anybody I can mention. That said, just gives me thrills to introduce him as our guest speaker today. Now I'll get into what I have written down. Our guest speaker today is a second-generation firefighter. His career started with the Reservoir Fire Protection District in 1988 as a volunteer firefighter, subsequently becoming hired as full-time firefighter in 1989, and eventually accepted the role as fire chief, where he served since 1996. He was elected as the president of the Mississippi Fire Chiefs Association in 2012, and he served in that position until 2014. And during that time, he served on the Mississippi State Fire Academy Advisory Board here. He's a lifetime member of the Mississippi Fire Chiefs Association and an active member of the Mississippi Firefighters Association. He attended Hines Community College. He's an EMT basic and holds many certifications in many different disciplines from the Mississippi State Fire Academy. He received his Mississippi Fire Chiefs designation in 2007. He's a 2008 graduate of the Mississippi Executive Fire Officer Program and serves as an adjunct instructor in that program here at the Fire Academy. Please join me in welcoming Fire Chief Scott Berry of the Reservoir Fire Department.
I don't know how I follow any of this stuff up right here. Firefighter Sims, I brought mine. Before I get started, I want to recognize somebody in the room. We've got all these new young guys here. If you're a retired firefighter in any capacity, would you stand up for me real quick? Yeah, Carl, you. Marvin, you're not hiding. I saw you. There we go. I just want to say congratulations to you on your retirements and thank you guys. Guys, there is an end to this. pretty much everybody on the staff has told me to try to keep it down as close to I can to 10 minutes. So I'm going to shoot for 20. Let me start, though. I want to say this. My journey began 31 years ago. I was 19 when I came to the Fire Academy. Young, full of energy, got in a lot of trouble. Y'all know what I mean. That grass is an expensive thing to walk on. I graduated December 8th of 1989. We didn't have a class number back then like 185 does. We also didn't have an ice cream machine, and that's what I'm most jealous of. Like Director Wade just said, I'm fire chief of the reservoir, been there since 96, 24 years. Over the time, I've seen many positive changes in the fire service and at the State Fire Academy. I have learned one thing. I am old school when I look at you. And what I mean by that is we used the old heat building when it was the new heat building. To kind of put a timeline on it for you. I've worked with some really great guys around, and I'm going to just say a couple of names. Daniel Cross, Shannon Sandridge, I saw him back here in the back, Nick Reagan, Sean Sinclair, Ross Cook, and Jared Ward, or as I've always called him as long as I've known him, J-Rod. All these instructors work here at the State Fire Academy, and the common denominator between all that is they started at the Reservoir Fire Department, and I am so proud of all of them. So with that being said, I want you to take every opportunity to expand your mind and your knowledge in the fire service. Make these instructors your friends. Exchange with them your contact info. And parents and grandparents' contact info is phone numbers and emails. Benjamin Franklin said, if a man empties his purse into his head, no one can take it away from him. An investment of knowledge always pays the best interest. You and your training are the most valuable tools that will be on a fire scene. It can get you into a situation, and it can get you out of one too. How valuable do you want to be? Congratulations, 185, on becoming certified firefighters. You became professional firefighters your first day on the job, but you're certified now, or in just a little bit. They bless you. The definition of professional is following an occupation as a means of livelihood or for gain. You will need a side hustle. Grandparents and parents, that's a part-time job. Today is the beginning of your journey, not the end. Continue to train and use the skills that you were taught here. When you get back to the firehouse, all eyes will be on you. I can assure you of that. And I want you to make us proud. Remember, you won't get called until someone can't handle a problem. And always think, and I always try to make this point to everyone. Always think, even if it is your fourth or fifth call of the day, this is probably that patient or that victim's first. You're never going to get a second chance to make a first impression. Be a professional. Always be a professional. I'm going to say it. Y'all heard it for 7 weeks. Social media, all of the Snapchat, everything. Use it wisely. Please use it wisely. I challenge you to become the firefighter you wanted to be as a child. Those firefighters were the good guys. They were the heroes. Y'all remember that. Y'all saw them. Now that you are a firefighter, you're being looked up to by children and adults. Be that good guy, that hero. Stop, speak, shake a hand. I know some of the law enforcement in the room, so I do have to tell this one little joke. You know what firefighters and police officers have in common? They both wanted to be firefighters. Continue to strive for excellence. Never be complacent or accept status quo. You decide how you're remembered in the fire service. In the movie Backdraft, yes, I'm going to quote Backdraft. In the movie Backdraft, a sign reads, 150 years of tradition unimpeded by progress. That's what it says. Don't use that mentality. Don't use that. Challenge that. I challenge you to question, this is how we've always done it. And Mr. Trimble, he took a little of my glory away, but I was going with, Each time you left the academy, you saw a sign. And what did that sign say, guys? Say it as a group. Have I? Well, let me say, today you have. Class 185, thank you for your service. I congratulate you on your graduation. Thank you for your time.
Jeff Allen. Braden Brantley. Kevin Breckenridge. Corey Brown. Jeffrey Davis. LaCory Hammond. John Murphy. Peyton Owens. Chris Pearson. Cameron Piter. Garrett Price. Jarvis Red. Riley Reed. Gavin Rhodes. Chase Rivers. Evan Rodrigo. Thomas Seals. Gary Sims. Weston Stewart. Brandon Thompson. Jonathan Tillotson. Austin Wallace. Kenneth Wilson, Jr. Jermaine Winston. And Jack Wright.
Now for the moment we've been waiting for, by the powers placed in the Mississippi State Fire Academy and by the laws of the state of Mississippi, we declare Class 185 Mississippi Firefighters. This concludes our ceremony for today. Thank you all for coming out to the graduation of 185. We have refreshments in the lobby. Please take your time, mingle around, take pictures. We enjoyed having you here today. If you want to walk around the campus on this beautiful day, please feel free to do that. Come back and see us. Thank you all for attending, and God bless you all.